Protect your energy from draining mistakes. Zen and Buddhist teachings. The unseen drain on your energy. There's a kind of exhaustion that no amount of sleep, food, or physical comfort can restore. It's not the kind that comes from working long hours or missing a meal. Instead, it's a deep fatigue of the spirit, an erosion of inner peace caused by invisible forces that we unknowingly allow into our lives. Why do we feel drained after certain interactions? Why does the presence of some people leave us feeling empty while others uplift and energize us? And why do we sometimes feel weighed down by life, even when everything appears to be going well? The answer lies in how we manage our energy. In Zen and Buddhist philosophy, energy is not just a mystical concept, it is the essence of our being. It dictates our mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall spiritual well-being. Yet, most people are unaware of how they are losing their energy daily. They unknowingly make three critical mistakes that allow negativity, stress, and toxicity to seep into their lives, leaving them anxious, exhausted, and disconnected from their true selves. This guide will explore these three mistakes and offer actionable solutions based on Zen and Buddhist teachings. More importantly, we will expand on these lessons with personal insights and modern-day applications to ensure that you can protect your energy in today's fast-paced world. Mistake number 1. Engaging in meaningless conflict. The trap of pointless arguments. Have you ever found yourself in a heated debate with someone who refuses to listen? Have you spent hours trying to convince someone of something they were never willing to accept? This is one of the biggest energy traps. In our modern world, it is easier than ever to get caught up in conflicts, whether it's arguing in the comment section of a social media post or debating with a friend over politics. However, Zen wisdom teaches us that not all battles are worth fighting. As a Zen master once said, "The wise do not waste their breath arguing with fools nor their peace on matters beyond control." When we engage in pointless arguments, we create suffering not only for ourselves but also for others. The Buddha taught that attachment to being right is a form of clinging, which leads to suffering. The desire to prove oneself often stems from the ego, which feeds on validation and control. However, wisdom lies in recognizing that truth does not require constant defense. Truth simply is. The story of the silent monk and the weary traveler. A weary traveler arrived at a secluded monastery in the mountains, burdened with stress and exhaustion. Seeking wisdom, he asked the silent monk, "Master, why do I feel so drained even though I eat well and sleep enough?" Without speaking, the monk picked up a stick and traced 3 symbols in the sand. The first symbol depicted 2 figures in an argument. The traveler immediately understood. Engaging in conflict drains energy. The monk then tossed a stone into a pond, disturbing the still water. "You fight with those who will never understand," the traveler whispered, realization dawning. Every time you engage in unnecessary conflict, you hand over your peace to someone who does not value it. Finally, the monk drew a lotus flower in the sand. The traveler gazed at it, deep in thought. After a moment, he bowed and thanked the monk. He realized that just as a lotus blooms untouched by the muddy water, he too could rise above conflict and cultivate inner peace. How to avoid this mistake. 1. Practice the art of silence. Not every argument is worth your time. Walk away when words will not change anything. Silence is a powerful response that can prevent unnecessary suffering. As the Zen saying goes, "A wise man said nothing." 2. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Before engaging in a conflict, pause and reflect on whether it adds value to your life. The mind naturally seeks validation. But true wisdom is learning to differentiate between battles that matter and those that only drain your spirit. 3. Observe without attachment. The mind tends to react quickly to provocation. But mindfulness allows us to observe conflict without becoming emotionally entangled. Imagine yourself as a still lake. When a stone is thrown into it, the ripples eventually settle. The same applies to thoughts and emotions. If left undisturbed, they naturally dissolve. 4. Let go of the need to be right. Wisdom is knowing when to step back instead of trying to prove yourself to others. The Buddha once said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned." 5. Cultivate inner peace through meditation. Meditation teaches us to be at peace with the impermanence of opinions and judgments. By focusing on the breath and quieting the mind, we develop a deep sense of inner stability that is not easily shaken by external conflicts. 6. Respond with compassion, not ego. When faced with hostility, respond with kindness. A soft answer often diffuses tension more effectively than a sharp retort. True strength lies not in overpowering others but in maintaining composure and choosing peace over discord. 7. Embrace the power of letting go. Not every battle needs to be fought. Some conflicts resolve themselves when left alone. The more we resist negativity, the stronger it becomes. But when we let go, we reclaim our power and direct our energy towards meaningful pursuits. Mistake number 2. Absorbing negativity from others. The burden of emotional contagion. Have you ever felt exhausted after spending time with someone who constantly complains? Have you noticed how easily your mood shifts when surrounded by negativity? Energy is contagious. Just as positive people can lift us, negative people can drag us down. The problem arises when we unconsciously absorb their emotions instead of simply observing them. In Buddhism, this is known as the principle of non-attachment. When we entangle ourselves in the suffering of others without mindfulness, we suffer along with them rather than offering true compassion. Instead of resisting negative energy, recognize that it is transient. Just like a river flows past rocks without resistance, we too can allow negativity to move around us without letting it sink into our being. This is the essence of equanimity. The story of the raindrop and the open hand. The silent monk traced a second symbol in the sand, an open hand catching falling stones. "Master, do you mean I take on the burdens of others?" the traveler asked. The monk nodded and pointed to the sky, where dark clouds gathered. As the first drops of rain fell, the monk remained still, while the traveler instinctively reached out to catch the raindrops in his palms. The monk smiled and pointed at the traveler's wet hands. "You cannot stop the rain, but you can stop catching it." The traveler closed his hands, letting the rain roll off, understanding that he had the power to remain unaffected by external negativity. True peace is found not in changing the external world but in mastering our own responses. How to avoid this mistake? 1. Observe. Don't absorb. Be present for others without taking on their emotional weight. Compassion does not mean carrying someone else's suffering as your own. Rather, it means offering understanding while maintaining your own inner peace. 2. Set emotional boundaries. Recognize when someone else's negativity is affecting your well-being and distance yourself when necessary. Just as a tree does not lose its roots in a storm, anchor yourself in inner peace and let negativity pass like the wind. 3. Protect your energy through mindfulness. When exposed to negativity, ground yourself through deep breathing or meditation. A simple mindfulness practice, such as focusing on your breath, can create a mental buffer that prevents external disturbances from overwhelming your mind. 4. Practice loving kindness meditation. Instead of resisting negative energy, transform it with compassion, by silently offering thoughts of kindness and peace to those who are suffering. You shift the energy from resistance to acceptance. 5. Detach from external validation. Often, we absorb negativity because we seek approval or connection. True wisdom lies in realizing that inner peace does not depend on external circumstances but on the clarity of our own mind. 6. Embrace the impermanence of emotions. No emotion, whether negative or positive, is permanent. By reminding yourself that all feelings pass like clouds in the sky, you can prevent temporary negativity from taking root in your mind. By practicing these principles, you cultivate an unshakable peace that allows you to support others without being overwhelmed by their struggles. True wisdom lies in holding space for others while remaining grounded in your own tranquility. Mistake number 3. Wasting time on what doesn't serve you. The illusion of productivity. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to mistake busyness for productivity. Many people spend hours scrolling through social media, seeking external validation, or dwelling on past regrets, believing they are engaged in something meaningful. Yet, these actions often drain energy without contributing to true personal growth or well-being. This is the illusion of productivity, when activity feels like progress but lacks true direction or value. From a Buddhist perspective, attachment to distractions and meaningless pursuits is a form of suffering. The Buddha taught that craving and attachment lead to dissatisfaction and restlessness. When we engage in activities that do not align with our purpose, we cultivate inner turmoil instead of peace. This endless cycle of superficial engagement creates the illusion of fulfillment. Yet at the end of the day, we feel empty. The story of the broken hourglass. One day, a traveler seeking wisdom arrived at a monastery. He found a monk drawing symbols in the sand. With careful strokes, the monk traced the outline of an hourglass, then struck his staff across it, breaking the shape. The traveler sighed and asked, "Master, do you mean I am wasting my time?" The monk did not respond but instead pointed toward the setting sun. The traveler followed the monk's gaze and suddenly understood. The sun was slipping below the horizon, never to return to this exact moment again. Time, the most precious form of energy, was passing whether he used it wisely or not. In that moment, the traveler realized the depth of his mistake. He had spent years chasing approval, engaging in empty discussions, and worrying about matters beyond his control. The monk's silent lesson revealed a profound truth. Each moment wasted on things that do not serve the soul is a moment lost forever. How to avoid this mistake? 1. Audit your time regularly. Ask yourself frequently, is this activity nourishing my soul? Mindfulness teaches us to observe our actions without judgment, allowing us to see clearly whether what we are doing serves our higher purpose. Consider keeping a time journal for a week. Track where your hours go. Are they spent in meaningful connection, personal growth, and service, or are they lost in distractions, overcommitment, and trivial pursuits? 2. Be intentional with your energy. Energy is like a flame. It can be used to light a path or burn away precious time. Invest your time in activities that align with your values and contribute to your well-being. Engage in activities that bring fulfillment, such as learning, meditating, or helping others. Say no to commitments that drain you and do not serve your purpose. Limit exposure to negative influences, including toxic relationships, excessive digital consumption, and unnecessary worries about the past or future. Every action we take is an investment of our energy. Choose wisely where you direct yours. 3. Embrace mindful living. Prioritize moments of stillness, self-reflection, and deep focus over distractions. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness is the key to cutting through illusions and seeing reality as it is. The present moment is the only time where life happens. Everything else is either memory or anticipation. Start your day with meditation or mindful breathing to set a calm and focused tone. Create space for silence. Disconnect from noise, both external and internal. Be fully present in whatever you do, whether eating, working, or engaging in conversation. When we live mindfully, we begin to see time as sacred. We no longer rush through life but instead savor each moment with awareness and gratitude. Every breath, every step, and every thought becomes a conscious act of being rather than an unconscious drift through time. The wisdom of letting go. One of the greatest teachings of Buddhism is the practice of letting go, of distractions, of unnecessary obligations, and of the illusion that we must always be doing something to be valuable. When we let go of what does not serve us, we create space for what truly matters. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with things you do not need. The longer you carry it, the more exhausted you become. The moment you set it down, you feel lighter, freer. This is what happens when you let go of wasted time and unproductive habits. You reclaim your energy and direct it toward a path of meaning and fulfillment. Final thoughts. Energy protection as a way of life. Energy protection is not about isolation or avoiding all interactions. It's about discernment, learning where your energy is flowing and ensuring it serves your highest self. The way we guard our energy determines the quality of our thoughts, emotions, and overall well-being. Energy is like water. If not directed wisely, it seeps into unnecessary places, leaving us depleted. Protecting your energy means living with mindfulness and intention, cultivating habits that nourish your inner peace rather than erode it. Practical steps to integrate these teachings. 1. Pause before reacting. Before engaging in conflict, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Many emotional outbursts stem from habitual reactivity rather than conscious choice. Practicing mindfulness allows us to respond instead of react, preserving our inner stability. When we master this practice, we no longer let external disturbances dictate our emotions. 2. Create emotional boundaries. Not everything that happens around you requires your emotional involvement. Learn to say, I understand, but this is not mine to carry. Many people absorb the pain and burdens of others without realizing it, which leads to exhaustion. Setting clear emotional boundaries prevents unnecessary suffering while allowing you to offer compassion without being consumed by external negativity. 3. Audit your time and energy. Energy leaks happen when we engage in activities that do not align with our purpose. Regularly assess your commitments and interactions. Are they adding value to your life? Or are they distractions? Begin eliminating the habits and engagements that drain you without serving your highest self. 4. Choose silence over drama. Walk away from negativity whenever possible. Engaging in gossip, arguments, or needless debates is like adding fuel to a fire that will only consume you. Silence, when chosen with wisdom, is a powerful form of energy protection. It allows you to maintain clarity and inner peace instead of being pulled into chaos. 5. Prioritize inner peace. The best way to protect your energy is to cultivate habits that restore your spirit. Make time for meditation, nature walks, deep breathing, and meaningful solitude. These practices replenish your energy, helping you maintain balance amid life's challenges. A well-nourished soul is less susceptible to external disturbances. The wisdom of the Zen master. A Zen master once said, A wise person does not chase the wind, nor do they let it carry them away. They move with intention, guarding their energy like a sacred flame. This means that true wisdom lies in recognizing what deserves your attention and what does not. When we let go of distractions and unnecessary conflicts, we can preserve our inner sanctuary. The question is, will you protect your flame? Only by consciously choosing where our energy flows can we create a life of peace, clarity, and true fulfillment.